letter that is, Grover?
I think so.
What letter is this?
Q.
Q. This is indeed a
You froggy.
All right, welcome to the Patriot Hour for Monday morning, March 11th, 2019, folks. Got some new QAnon breadcrumbs, updates, drops to go over. Quite a few, actually, dropped out. We got a special guest in the studio, Alan, a good friend of mine. Alan, what's going on?
Thank you, Mike. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Yes.
Big supporter of what you're doing and what you're putting out there.
He's been following along. He's definitely been in the truth movement for years and years. A little newer to the Q, has heard about it, knows a little bit about it, but we actually spent quite a bit of time yesterday evening, this morning, going over, just trying to catch him up to speed a little bit more, get him into the know-how. But we got some Q drops, so that's awesome. He's all ready for that. So we'll take a few minutes here and just wait for people to join. We are recording. This will be put out to the Patriot Hour later on today, or maybe pretty quick, actually, right after we get this recorded. So,
good morning, everybody.
All
Thank
right.
you for having me.
So, what brought you? What was one of your first experiences, Alan, with truth? I guess, like, whatever hit you hard? Was it a conspiracy of sorts back in the day? Something you looked into, or?
It really hit home back in high school when a lot of stuff came out with the music industry. You know, exposing a lot of the satanic cults and a lot of their rituals that they do, and just putting all the breadcrumbs together and just piling all these conspiracies together. And it just, knowing God and having a personal relationship with him, it brought some type of burden or conviction on my life to find the truth. And putting all these conspiracies that people believe that are just theories and stuff like that together, the trail goes deep, and we're following it right now.
Yeah.
With the truth. And that's why I support your show specifically.
Well, we appreciate it. Lots of people here saying good morning, Alan.
Good morning, you guys. Thank you.
Yep, we guys are checking in from all over. I see Texas, I see Oklahoma, Tulsa, Oklahoma, Austin, Texas. It's a sick world. Yes, Brett Varney. It's a sick world. That's it. You know, like you said, you were, and early on for myself, it's almost like there's a lot of very important things. The structure to the whole Illuminati system of how, I mean, it is a tarantula or a octopus or a plate of spaghetti, as I like to say. There's lots of different facets. Individually, they're really, it's almost designed to be that if any one system gets maybe taken down or exposed, that they can still carry on. The media is a facet. The Hollywood.
They definitely have a big blanket
Yes.
that they use to cloak their secrecy and hide the real truth from us. I mean, even what we think of as right now as the truth, it could be deeper than what we think it is.
Yeah.
You know, the rabbit hole really goes deep, and that's why we have a lot of brilliant minds in Q and your show, like I said specifically, that expose these to the people that want to know this knowledge and seek the truth.
Yes. Very well. And that is it, folks. We starting this, we could always go back in time and hit onto these areas. We get the general gifs. Do we know every main player? Do we have every story right? Is it this guy's brothers, sisters, uncles, mothers, neighbor? Who knows? We're probably going to find out at the end, oh, wow, I was a little missed off on that. But in your own research on that, Alan, the music industry particularly, or the Hollywood industry, they're almost all involved at some level. They've all done things they're not proud of. To what level they rise is probably on how more in depth they go. Like people like really big A-list actors that only need to do a movie every 2 years or so because they're when they do that one movie, they get paid hundreds of millions of dollars to do that one movie, and they're set and they're off partaking in other
And they
things.
wouldn't be able to do that unless they turn the other cheek from the truth.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, they have to, like you said, it's levels to it, and I mean, some of them stay at B class because they don't want to go and do the
upper-
rituals or what, you know. Let's not speak of that, get into detail, but and like it kind of goes all back to the map that we talked about, that just branches out from not just media, the news, music, the government, military,
Pharma.
FEMA, anything like that, you know, it's all on a string that has a big hand controlling it.
Yep.
And just open your eyes, people. See the bigger picture. And I'm still learning myself. So that's why we need to keep this community tight knitted and continue to just build each other up in the name of God.
Yes. Amen, brother. All right. Well, let's jump into these QPosts. We will go over them together, folks, like we always do. Do I have a desktop capture up? Yes, I do. All right. We get the banner off. All right, I'm going to make this a little bigger. Just let me find out where we're at. Last one I went over that I can remember. What was yesterday, the 10th? 12/11. The real reason they want open borders, follow the map. I did that one. Pretty sure I did that one. Stacy Dash. Yeah, I did that one. Okay, and this was the video of the woman, that Hispanic Patriot explains why she is against illegal immigration. That was the last one we watched. So 3019.
That sounds like it was Trump's cleaning lady.
Nice. 3019 folks in the series. All right, that's 3019 drops, updates, breadcrumbs from Q since the very beginning, late October of 2017. This comes yesterday at 11:09 p.m., so pretty late in the evening. We got an NSA article, or NSA.gov. Let's go ahead and just click it here. So, the May 2018 puzzle periodical, Shall We Play a Game? Ooh, computer tic-tac-toe. So that is hilarious because we've been hearing Shall We Play a Game on the Q drops since the beginning. Every so often, Shall We Play a Game? And here on the official, we're on the official NSA.gov website. And for their May 2018, they're calling it Shall We Play a Game?
Playing with their minds.
It's a creator challenge, difficulty rating hard. So what they do is they put some, even on the CIA website or the NSA, you can go there, and they have a kids section or sometimes game sections where they're kind of like encrypted things that you can try to
stimulate your brain.
There you go.
Yeah.
And, see if you're...
Yeah, I have a couple of those apps on my phone just to pass some free time.
So here we go. Shall we play a game? Question mark. How many tweets has POTUS forwarded in the past 12 hours? Primary topics. Question mark. March Madness. Do you have your blank filled in? Q. I'm going to dig into this one a little deeper. We're going to go straight to the 8chan where it comes from, folks. The armpit of the internet. Again, be careful. Last time I was going through here to touch on some of these to read, we had a pretty big surprise. I don't want to show you the deep swamp again. If you want to get offended, you just come on right on over here. All right, brackets. Hey, here we go. Sometimes you find good stuff in here. Sometimes you just get troll. And so it begins. Go get him, Q. Hey, Q, can I slice you? Oh, wow. HRC in the bracket. Hello, Q.
That was that
picture of the Q.
Yep.
Do it, Q. The do it. Yeah, see, I was showing him that last night. The do it Q. Kind of did a quick run through. So May 15th, the Creator Challenge War Games. Not getting much info right here. Loud and clear, sir. EC work with RR. 11 D class. POTUS tweets today. So these are the POTUS tweets today. All right, let's just move on here a little bit. Let's see what else we can find out. 3020. This came at 12:11 early this morning, just after the midnight hour. Twitter, we got Jordan Sather actually linked here from 2016, but relevant as ever. The CIA is investing in firms that mine your tweets and Instagram photos. Among 38 previously undisclosed companies receiving CIA venture capital funding, several are developing tools to mine social media. But relevant as ever. Why did @Snowden only attack the NSA? Because that was the target intended. Where did @Snowden work prior to the NSA? Where did @Snowden? He was in the military, I believe, but maybe he had a job in between. Where did @Snowden pick Russia as his safe place? Why did @Snowden pick Russia as a safe place? Now that's the way I understand that is he was bouncing around a couple different airports, and then the military or the U.S. government finally pulled his passports once he landed in Russia. So therefore, he was stuck in Russia. That's the way they made it seem. Now maybe Russia was his intended place all along. If he, was, but his stuff didn't get pulled until he got to Russia. So some say he didn't pick Russia. He got stuck in Russia, but.
Does that also lead with the Hillary Clinton conspiracy with the evils of this world collaborating with Russia, and the
uranium one or something?
You know what I'm saying? Just because.
Well, the story for this goes that like I said, there's a movie out by that they did a Hollywood movie on Snowden just to show he was a patriot. He worked for the NSA, and he saw all this bad stuff they were doing and collecting all this data, and is totally against, which is probably correct. But the reason he did it, and they're saying that he worked for the CIA. The CIA implanted him into the NSA. He worked for this subcontracting company that worked for the NSA, and his whole time the plan was get in there, get working, take things off a thumb drive, and he hid it in a Rubik's Cube and got out of there, and then took off out of the country. So the reasons he did it was to cause a whole bunch of damage to the NSA. That way the CIA can be over here operating with no attention on them.
Like you said, they're fighting for the top.
There's a war, an internal
with the governmental
intelligence agencies. Yes.
Would you say there were 17 of them?
Somewhere around there. I don't know if they still all exist, but that was a number. I think we've seen that in here even. There's close to 17 or 17 on the nose. Why did @Snowden pick Russia? Okay, we just went over that. What events occurred directly after the release of the NSA PAC? What events occurred directly after release of NSA_PACs? How do you avoid data privacy laws? What events occurred directly after the release? I can't remember. Some congressional things happened here. I'm going to again go to the source of this. How do you avoid data privacy laws? Charter of the NSA, Charter of Agency, DARPA. All right, so some DARPA project. LifeLog is the name of it. Facebook. So arrow over to LifeLog, arrow over to Facebook. Define surveillance state. A surveillance state is a country where the government engages in pervasive surveillance of large numbers of its citizens and their visitors.
Isn't that pretty much DARPA?
Well, DARPA is the name of the part of the government that does lots of black op projects.
They
overall
set that social media up, don't they? Pretty much to pretty much get into your life and.
Now you're giving it all up for nothing. Matters of national security, accepted reality. Why was the NSA targeted? Why was the agency protected and sheltered? Those are some interesting questions that I We're going to jump over here. Why was the agency protected and sheltered? Hello, Q. Nobody's commenting. All right, 3021. Go ahead and read this one, Alan.
Where am I reading?
Oh, hold on. I'll give you the next one. This isn't very much. Security breach and spilled secrets have shaken the NSA to its core. This came from November 12th of 17. A serial leak of the agency's cyber weapons has damaged morale, slowed intelligence operations, and resulted in hacking attacks on businesses and civilians worldwide. Washington. Jake Williams awoke last April in Orlando, Florida hotel where he was leading a training session. Checking Twitter, Mr. Williams, a cybersecurity expert, was dismayed to discover that he had been thrust into the middle of one of the worst security debacles ever to befall American intelligence. Mr. Williams had written on his company blog about the Shadow Brokers, a mysterious group that had somehow obtained many of the hacking tools the United States used to spy on other countries. Now the group had replied in a angry scurried on Twitter to it identified him correctly as a former member of the National Security Agency's hacking group, Tailored Access Operations, or TAO, a job he had not publicly ever disclosed. Then the Shadow Brokers astonished him by dropping technical details that made clear they knew about highly classified hacking operations that he had conducted. America's largest and most secretive intelligence agency had been deeply infiltrated. Well, of course, you can't do all the... So at Snowden, Padres or restraints?
Technology is scary these days.
Ooh.
Things we can do with it.
2019 in the brackets, Q. So 3022 came at 12:27 a.m. early this morning. 3021 a repost, Q repost, and then to add to that he puts. Go ahead and read these here.
Releases code words, NSA keys. Snowden travels to Russia. Shadow Brokers release action code NSA keys. Shadow Brokers ORIG in Russia.
Originate maybe in Russia.
Yeah. Can you make the connection why Snowden went to Russia? Can you?
Not really. I'm not sure what the connection is there.
Define spook. Define shadow. Do spooks hide in the shadows? Spooks. What's spooks?
That's like a government agency, like a CIA.
Right. Okay.
They always call them Stand Strong. Gina. Whoa.
Q.
Define spook, define shadow. Do spooks hide in the shadows? Yes. Can you make the connection who provided the source code to the Shadow Brokers? Can you make the connection to who provided the source code to the Shadow Brokers? Interesting. Let me get going here.
Snowden's the connection.
Go to 3023. We got the repost of 3022. Connect the dots at Snowden. Who was the agency director from 2012 to 2016? Hayden? Wasn't it Hayden? Agency director. Agency direct. John Perry Barlow. How do we know prior to? John Perry Barlow. Who? What is Gina? At Snowden, the CIA clown was selling out NSA info to Russia. Ooh, Gina Haspel. Gina Haspel.
Yeah, someone's saying that he met with CIA agents in Russia.
Newsweek. Edward Snowden, Gina Haspel, Donald Trump, CIA torture, NSA waterboarding. Let me grab that. Do this. Paste and go. Edward Snowden hits out at CIA Director Gina Haspel. You can literally torture people and you will be promoted. Damn, no thanks. This comes at 117.19, so just about a month ago. Shut that down. Whistleblower Edward Snowden hit out at Central Intelligence Agency Director Gina Haspel on Thursday, questioning how the CIA chief was able to get promoted despite overseeing the country's torture program. Speaking at a conference on national security whistleblowing and government secrecy in London, UK, via video link, the National Security Agency whistleblower, who fled to Russia from the U.S. in 2013, said America's culture of impunity has corrupted not just our system of intelligence, but really our system of government. Snowden, who copied and leaked highly classified information from the NSA in 2013, exposing a number of global surveillance programs run by the NSA and the Five Eyes Intelligence Alliance, said Americans should question how Haspel got promoted to the top job in the CIA. People just want to get ahead. They want to be the best, Snowden said. So what does it tell them when you see that you can literally torture people and you will be promoted rather than persecuted? All right, this goes on and on. The 30-year CIA veteran faced strong criticism and questioning from Democrats during her Senate confirmation hearing last May, with senators grilling Haspel over her role in enforcing an interrogation program that saw detainees tortured under George W. Bush administration. All right, so
Now Snowden, so he was pretty much a pawn in the government,
that's it.
and then now he's coming out, like you said, and then he's going to be pretty much locked up for life now.
Well, he's wanted here for, that's exactly like he was a pawn. And again, like if somebody and some of these low level congressmen that are on the take or have signed bad things, they maybe had blackmail put on them. That's the way we understand it. So if they come to you to have you sign something that you might not be like, fine, why am I signing it? You just sign it,
something,
and then you don't really know, like, why. Always, like, they're not going to fill you in on every detail. So that was the last one, right? 3024 came at 12:48 a.m. early this morning, folks. We got a Twitter here from Snowden. This is crazy. This guy's on the run, but he still's got an official Twitter. He's just. Note, Gina Haspel participated in a torture program that involved beating on an innocent pregnant woman's stomach, anally raping a man with meals he tried to refuse, and freezing a shackled prisoner until he died. She personally wrote the order to destroy 92 tapes of CIA torture.
Wow.
So, all right. Banking on HRC to win? You never thought she would lose. Banking on Brennan to bring you home? You never expected a new director to be appointed. Agency rogue elements still control of OP. No. Gina, X_UK_division open attacks. And we get a little bit of code word 3UD_HQ headquarter. What do you have left to sell to Russia to retain your safety and security? Welcome home at Snowden.
That's Hillary Clinton. That's all about Hillary Clinton, isn't it?
Well, that was she was supposed to win, and then all these things would work out for all the people that were bad acting. Looks like we're down to the last one here, 3025. We got a repeat of one from 12718 at Snowden. The clock is ticking. How's Russia? Mr. Contractor. Freedom of the Press. John Perry Barlow. Got a link here to Freedom of the Press. Secure drop. Whistleblowers in the brackets. Secure drop. Arrow over clowns in America. CIA. Nobody is safe. Q. So we got this John Perry Barlow post, January 27 of 18. John Perry Barlow was dead on February 8th of 18, about 2 weeks after that post. Reconcile. This is not a game. So let me do a refresh here. 3025. 3,225 drops total, folks. I'm going to go to proof of memes here just to see anything new. Looks like we got a QPost proof here. POTUS has 11 retweets in the past 12 hours. All right, that's going to answer one of the posts that we read down there. POTUS has 11 retweets in the past 12 hours previous to QChrome. We got the map. If exists, DOJ finds letter ordering scrutiny of uranium-1, Hillary Clinton. Ooh, hoo, 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 hoo.
That's a good picture.
I like that. I will save. Camp Justice indictments are coming. Camp Justice is Gitmo.
They got a lot of those to serve.
Guantanamo Bay, folks. There you go.
The Trump administration is doing good things out here. They're trying to take down these cults and these evil people out here.
FISA release, I like that. Facebook was created by DARPA to track a person's entire existence. Here's the actual link from article. Pentagon kills LifeLog project. LifeLog is an ontology-based subsystem that captures stories, makes accessible the flow of one person's experience and interactions in the world. Crazy, crazy, crazy.
That's just a propagandist into having too much pride in ourselves and just falling victim to peer pressure, and it causes people a lot of depression and having to worry about, if you think back in the day when they didn't have all the social media and stuff like that, how did people come in contact with each other? It was face to face.
Face to face.
And that's a social interaction that people need to experience. And nowadays people are just clinging to what people look like and how they should base themselves off that. And that's not the way of life, people. We need to just love and care for each other.
All right, we're back. I'm looking at the comments. I got people say, hey, who's that in the studio with you, Mike? Fluid Pour Art by Greg. Welcome, Amy, the mod. Danielle Bird. A couple of the moderators, you'll see them in blue. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Greg, this is Alan, good buddy of mine.
Good morning, Greg. Thank you.
He is, Greg's been on the show. We'll probably do another one later this afternoon, this evening, Greg, if you're able. We'll see to join in. This is his first time on anything, but he's been around doing the research, a little newer to the Q, but that's he's picking it right up. It blends right in with everything you already know, other than being at the forefront of some of the political stuff. But a lot of people are, I don't pay attention to that. This is where it happens. I mean, deals get passed, things get implemented. It's not, if anything, you shouldn't partake in sports and stuff. That's all things to keep you distracted. I mean, moderately, baseball game, I get it. But some people take great pride. You met these people, I don't do politics, but they'll know every player on every team and their stats and what they batted or how many tackles they had. And
it all boils down to all the monkeys in the barrel, not just one, and coning in on that. You got to look at the bigger picture when it comes to something like this and exposing the truth. And with the conversations I've had with Mike and a lot of the open-minded people that I talk to, it boils down to there's a spiritual warfare going on in this world, and it's between good and evil people, and you got to pick and choose what side you're on. Just making the right decisions and following the truth and exposing it. We got to come together and do this. So I feel blessed to be on this show, to be honest with you. Me and Mike, when we was talking last night, we went over and said a little prayer, just to get enlightenment on the whole situation, and hopefully to bring more people to the Q site and to the Patriot Hour.
Yes, I'm reading here. House Dems to bring a resolution next week to make Mueller report public, because they're talking about this whole Russia thing after 2 years, that the report might not be fully transparent to us, and we're all been waiting. I don't know. This is from a couple days ago, by the way, so this could be this week is what I'm saying. This week, are we going to get the Mueller report, folks? Is there anyone out there anxious as much as I am? Get some of these reports to come in, because I think there's a lot more that can come out after his comes out that have been held up because of the different investigations going on. You can't release one thing without screwing up another one. I don't know. All right, so you guys got any questions out there? I'm going to go ahead and shut this down for the recording. Thanks for joining us here on the Patriot Hour. We'll see you back on the next episode. This is Alan. Alan.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Have a great day.
All right. We just stopped recording. That was all. We're still live with you guys. The episode will go out so it can be the Q update for the Patriot Hour. Let me get my chat back up. Brown eyes rule. Let's do another quick shout out here to let Alan know where everyone's from. Go ahead and put just a shout out in the general area or the state. No, we're still here. We're not leaving anywhere, Brett Varney, unless you're out of here. Have Alan back. Alan will be back. That's up to him. Phoenix, Arizona's in the house. Keegan Simons. Grow a beard, kid. Ohio, Tampa's in the house. Florida, Flint, Michigan, Indiana, Oklahoma, New York City, not the city. New York, not the city. Florida, Michigan, Missouri, Mary Lindsay, Indiana here, Karen G, Amy the Mod.
Got a lot of truth seekers out there.
Yes, all over. You ever been to any of these places, Alan? Hi, Alan.
I don't see Myrtle Beach in there, so.
Stephanie Snow. Hi, Alan. She's from Kokomo, Indiana.
How's it going, Stephanie?
Alabama, Amy at the Alabama Slamma. Here, listening. Ashley Litton. She's been here from the beginning. I think she was like one of the first 10 subscribers. My memory serves me correctly. Randy Robbins, Holden Beach. Hey, Patriots. D-Class equals, yes, the D-Class, folks. So that's what we're waiting on. I mean, haven't we been? Debunking the MSN report claiming Trump-Russia conspiracy theory is the biggest political scandal in America history. Debunking. It is a committed crimes, folks, against a civilian. Off of a bunch of lies, dude. That's what we should all be really upset about. Montana. Possibly Lori E. Mike, are you going to do a show with Abel? Can't wait to watch that. In the house, most of the people in D's Washington hold citizenship. This is illegal. So, Alan, what else can you share? So you did the music industry. What else is a good area of research that you recommend to start with, maybe for somebody that's new coming in, or I guess the Q thing would be one now, but a lot of it is just past. It's just a way to get caught up and see how it started or maybe where it's heading. But I mean, what do you suggest to people?
For me, I suggest to just open your mind and close it to negativity. Go out there and do the research yourself. You can't go and base your facts or base your knowledge off of someone else's opinion completely. Go and do that research and then research it some more. And that's what I did. Not only being a born again Christian, coming to Christ and just having a change in heart. I personally put the knowledge that I knew. I had all these puzzle pieces that I've just talked about, the Illuminati, the government, conspiracies, all these things. And just having the know-how or the know of Christ and being a Christian, it was like almost God convicting me to go out there and put all these things together in my mind, these little branches, and climb them and figure it out. And I did. And like I said, I don't know the complete truth, but I feel like we are on the heels of the truth. It's a race, and we're following it. And good thing we're exposing some of these things before they happen, because there could be major disasters. And that's what I mean. If you look in to talk about the Bible, is that okay?
Yeah. If
you look at like Revelations and stuff, it says there's a time to come when there's time of peace. And
talk about whatever you want, brother.
even with Trump, I see so many good things with Trump. He's a great person. He's doing great things for our country. He's making America great again. He's taking out all these evils that are polluting our society and slowly trying to kill us, whether it's through chemtrails, whether it's through fluoride in our water that calcifies our pineal gland, whether it's through GMOs or preservatives in our foods. I'm actually about 2 months ago, I started waking up with this conviction in my life that I need to take all this knowledge and expose it. And it was God not personally talking to me, but just I feel it was the Holy Spirit convicting me to go and write this book. And I'm not sure on the name yet. I'm thinking of calling it Secret Societies and the Divine Truth. And this book is to expose the government and the media, the music industry, the food, FDA, FEMA, all of these government-controlled, satanically controlled cults that just are out to harm us, to kill us, to slowly take us down, and to take us away from the truth. And that's why we need this right here.
Well, we support that, brother, at all costs. So there you go. That's a little bit of what Alan's up to right now. All right, he's getting a book out. It's in the early stages. He's tossing around the names, just even the title. Great title, by the way, if you stick with that. Folks, this is what it's about. The reason I'm here, Alan today even, it's just I got, I felt the same thing, desire to
divine meeting.
Yeah, having all this equipment, somehow over the years doing work for people while I'm there. I fix a computer or at an office doing some server issue, and it's like, hey, do you need an extra monitor? I mean, it works. And it's like, yeah, I'll take it, and I'm not really into like taking junk for payment, but sometimes if it was a worthy tower that was still really good, I'd knock off a little money to take it. Or sometimes things are just given to me, but I started throwing things away at one point, like, I'm never going to get to this. It works, but I'm just get rid of stuff. Of course, kept monitors and stuff, but here it's all being used. Like $10,000 worth of stuff, gathered and saved. A closet full of spare parts, and
it was all in his plan, partner.
Yeah, for a long time.
It's all for you to do. You have a bigger purpose here, and like I said, I fully support everything you do, and I know you got a lot of supporters out there.
9/11 woke me, but not completely. Yes, tons of little things. Folks, I say this, Alan was just kind of hitting it a little bit on the head. Never take what we say here. You should listen to everybody you can, read everything you can, but believe none of it until you can verify it in your own right. And how is that? Only you know. Some people feel it in their gut, some people feel it in their heart, some people feel it in their head, but it's that's your mechanism, and you just need to connect all the dots, do all the research you can. In the intelligence communities, we've gone over this. They look at hundreds of pieces of information. Only 2 of them are going to have valid information on them pertaining to what they're looking for. So you read a lot of junk. You have to be able to let it go and get the meat. Chew the meat, spit the bone out. Right. So we can use that. So that's one way. But it's a collective thing right now. We're all researching together. We're waiting on things to happen. It appears, like you said, Trump is doing the right thing. That's all we got. It's all we've ever had with politicians is they get on TV, we listen, and then we watch. And for a long time, for lots of presidents, we heard a lot of things, but we never saw what they were saying. It never matched up. They all lie. Democrat or Republican, we get it. It was a guise. See, there are rules to the game, good and evil. Mm-hmm. That even these bad actors, these bad people in charge have to abide by because their systems are put into play. There are rules to it. So a lot of people are like, oh, they just rigged the election. I think they maybe in certain states have some things rigged, but overall it really does work. Their biggest guise was to give us the front runners for the Democratic and Republican Party, and at the 6-month mark before voting occurs for a president to have in the past, Obama versus this Republican guy that lost in 2012. They sit back like, ooh, both of our people, no matter who wins, we're going to win because they're both Skull and Bones men.
Right.
They're both secret society member, you know. So they would sit back at that point at 6 months, 5 months, and it didn't matter who won. The agenda was going to go forward with whoever won. But this time was different. You had this outsider come in.
Yeah. And that's the thing about Trump is if you look at all 44 other presidents, or you look at their resume and what they went to school for and what they did, it's all about politics, people. Okay, you look at Trump, he's a businessman, a self-made businessman. He never was into politics. He really wasn't into politics. He was in
never held any prior office.
Now, it goes back to one video that I watched of him where he was saying he's been there, he's seen it, he's experienced it. And he doesn't want nothing to do with that. He's exposing these people. He knows the things that they do, and he wants to make America great again. And we need to be on board with this.
There you go. So some of the biggest people in our culture that we should listen to, sometimes I would think, are these people. Like everyone, like, I don't listen. You can't trust that person. I get it, but every book that we have that outlines like how secret societies work, or the rituals you go at different levels as you climb up the ladders, and you know, one of these, you know, maybe the Freemasons or something, those are all ex-insiders. Every book, we wouldn't know anything about any of the secret things if it wasn't for an ex used to be part of it, right? How else would we?
You know, and I think some of them, like even in my book, I go into talking about the Illuminati and stuff like that, and you know, their vital roles in the secrecy of what they do and what their sole purpose is, which is a one world order and to bring one world religion and destroy anyone else who doesn't want to
opposes.
Who opposes with that, which is mostly Christians. But to get back on that topic. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought.
We were just talking about insiders that leak out information for us to grab onto, and I just find it funny that you'll have somebody that'll be like 20 years military, honorable, 20 years, had a secret clearance, top secret clearance, 20 years, military intel, and then moves on, gets out, gets recruited by the CIA, FBI, NSA, one of the 3-letter alphabetical agencies. They get recruited into that, and then they do 30 years there as a civilian, but government job. Now, they got 50 years wrapped up in the game. And then at the 50 years, like, yeah, I saw some stuff or put some puzzles together themselves. For example, 3 summers ago, a deathbed on his deathbed, CIA guy on his deathbed came out and talked about that he was, for 20 years, military, army, bomb expert. Got out after 20, got recruited by the CIA to be a bombs expert guy for jobs. He said for 20, 30 years with them, most of his career was spent overseas doing, you know, clandestine, wiring up bridges, and they blow up and they can look.
Exposed afterwards.
Well, he exposed that most of his career in the CIA after the army was jobs of nefarious things, but always overseas, until late in his career they tasked him to do World Trade Center 7, and he never knew, you know, this is his own words, so you can not believe him or not, folks, and you can go look this up. But this interview, he's on his deathbed and he's dying, and he's just trying to tell the truth. He never knew what was to happen. He just was like, this is weird, and we're wiring up a bit. And he goes, they had to do it in the cloak of the night. They came in looking like painters, and they used this fine nano thermite that painted on, and they painted all the I-beams in this building, you know, with this coating.
Yeah, because that was a structure. That was a very heavy
that was the one that never got hit by the plane. That was the 3rd building that fell on September 11th that day. They always say, well, these 2 fell because planes hit them, and then the molten marble, and just all this bullcrap. Well, we're like, what about this 3rd one that fell? That just all free fall all at once about 5 o'clock that evening.
And no plane even hit it.
No plane ever hit it. There was no jet fuel like they wanted to talk about the other ones having jet fuel that made the metal so hot that way they fell like they did. No. So he said that this one was all wired up, or however, but again, they recruited him just like any other job, and he only knew about what he was doing. Now, on that day when building 1 and 2 and all that happened, then he saw his building go down, he would have to have known, like, whoa, there's no way that all this happened, or I was part of something really, really big that I didn't know. Dude, like, maybe a little pissed off, as if you're a patriot, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there you go, folks. That's how it works. Compartmentalization. Even if you're doing the bad stuff,
You may not know
They don't
about
come and tell you everything. Why would they? By the way, on the day and he said he started doing this building 5 years before September 11th.
Oh wow!
So it was in the works for a long time.
Yeah, That even goes back to like Nostradamus predicted this, didn't he? Didn't he predict this?
Yes. Yep. We know about directed energy weaponry too, and there are some good things out there on that too. There's some sketchy stuff. I mean, I was there for 9/11. I was there not for 9/11 the day of, but the very morning after on my ship. That was one of the 3 bigger things I was involved in. But
the direct energy weaponry, is that the HARP things or no?
Direct energy weaponry. There's different levels of it. I don't know if HARP is considered, maybe, but more so like you got sound ones now that they can point like a satellite dish at you, and make you
frequencies make you think that and
make you
control your brain
delirious,
to feel relaxed or angry or something. That's definitely true.
There was like
That's out there.
a book I got. Maybe is it up there? Or is it down in my bigger bookshelf? I have this one that talks about the 90 Gulf War, that a Marine was there in a platoon one night, and it gunfire was going, and late in the evening, like a Humvee pulled up. A couple guys got out, and they had this is in the 1990s, so they had this dish on top. And like, yeah, hold on. They pointed this dish on this Humvee the whole night towards the enemy, and then the next morning when the Marine they took off back the way they came with that specialized test Humvee or whatever, and then the Marines pushed forward the next morning, and they got up there to that group they were engaging the whole day before into the night. And they were all waving white flags, delirious, doing circles, puking, laying on the desert floor, just out of it. So they pointed this sound energy, beamed it all night long.
Got him sick.
Yeah, dude.
Man, I heard something about that.
Makes your equilibrium off.
With the government, they were overseas, and I think it was someone famous, but she just said she kept hearing this strange frequency, this sound, and then she just had migraines, and now it won't ever go away. Like, the government has technology that we don't know about, and that's
5G and all this stuff coming, dude. It's all sketchy when you look into it. There are people, even with all the signals we have today, routers, Wi-Fi, all that, there are a percentage of the people in the U.S. or around the world that they get nauseous from it. There's a few places in the United States that are no Wi-Fi zones. Like, they've been declared, people go live there, and their problems seem to get better, but they just can't function. They're just highly sensitive to the beams that are just traveling all around us.
Technology, man, technology. I mean, do you follow Elon Musk? You read anything about him?
I don't really. He's been dropped in the QPost a few times. They're all pretty.
He's big on technology, and I mean, with
I just don't know. They sent that car to space and stuff.
Yeah,
and
with the Tesla car and just like his technology that I got from Nikola Tesla, which is the AC current, and just the way they went about promoting it and everything, he has come to a reconciliation that AI is, when it goes aboard, we're going to totally screw ourselves, and that's technology that we're making to. If you do more research on it, there's a robot in Saudi Arabia that they gave full-blown legal citizenship, and her name is Sophia. I don't know if any of you guys have ever heard of this, but she has full cognitive consciousness and can make decisions just like me and Mike here. And I mean, just based on full facial expression. If you look it up, it's crazy. And this robot has full-blown legal citizenship. Now, think when this goes viral, these things can think like the internet. They think way faster than us, and what happens when they start building onto each other? And this, it's all conspiracy, but you never know.
That's how it works.
It's a scary thing, and even Elon Musk, the leading technology innovator, is saying this is not good, and we still continue to do it.
Who was it? Stephen, the one guy that was considered a genius, I think Stephen Hawkins.
Yep, Stephen Hawkins. He said it too.
He said what's the biggest threat? And he's like, in the next 20 years, and this is like 5 years ago, and he's like, AI.
Yep.
So he even came out. Total Recall, or not Total Recall, I would say more so like Terminator. How about that? The machines take over.
Sophia is freaking. Some people know about it.
Telnet.
So.
Yeah, I was into the AI a couple years ago, watching tons of little documentaries and videos, and they had half heads that looked so humanistic, but on the back of it was all the wires coming out.
The
And they
cyborgs. If you
they
can't
would,
beat them, join them.
Yeah,
If you can't beat them, join them.
billionaires. So my big thing is we should listen to everybody. These people that have disseminated away. This is how we know anything, folks. Books have been written, but the people that have spent a lot of time in, when they get out, or if they at one point quit and then they start talking, kind of like the way Snowden, it's like they designed him to look like that, like all the people that, and they saw that these people get backing from the American people when they disseminate and tell them things, and it's for your own good. So they gave him that same prop up story,
It's either death or life in prison, right?
Yeah.
It's either death or life in prison.
Well, not always. They made rules like for the civilian contractors, or is it the ones in the military? I can't remember. They have a path that they can whistleblow. It's legit. I mean, there was a guy in the 60s that did it. The Army was doing some really bad things. This guy at first, Daniel Ellsberg, I believe, Daniel Ellsberg. They demonize you. You're always considered a traitor and all this stuff from the government immediately, because the government's going to come at you and label you that. And then over time, 10 years went by, he was considered a hero. It always takes a decade for the things that are come out from these people that whistleblow on. I mean, it's just a crazy system, folks. I mean, at this point, but these are the people to listen to. They're always discredited. And again, most people that discredit, they're not really in the intelligence game. They're typically people that work a normal job. They're really busy with their normal lives, and they have husbands and wives and kids and homework and dinners to cook. And then you hear somebody say something that totally goes against everything you know, and instantly you're, they're a conspiracy theorist, because it's like, what they just said I don't know nothing about, so therefore it's wrong.
Right.
Whoa, well, how?
And that's a lot of this generation nowadays, is they're
And
not
people don't even
open-minded.
care. It's like, well, this guy was in an intelligence committee or community for 25 years. He knows some stuff. You might want to listen a little bit. And it's kind of like, yeah, I work over here.
They're gonna base it off of that fake news they see on that.
Yeah.
That's just brainwashing us. There's a friend of mine that she just made a status, and it was just dogging Trump and his administration for no reason. And I kind of messaged her and tried getting a feel for what she knew about him. And she had absolutely no idea what's going on in politics and stuff like that. But she's just out there trying to throw his name in the dirt. And it's just like, I can't even explain to her. She's like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Well, then how are you going to not like somebody and you don't even know anything about them, really? You just know fake stuff.
I know.
Have an open mind, people.
It's crazy. It really is. Really is crazy. All right, we're hitting that hour mark, folks. We'll and we had close to a little over 300 in the room for most of the thing, so it's just trickling down. We're hitting the 55-minute mark. Let's go ahead and do a wrap up here. Any questions or anything you guys want to ask Alan? He'll definitely be back. I would imagine we're trying to set something up for him to come by at least once a week at a minimum, if more, if possible. But it just depends on schedules and what works. Alan, they don't want to hear anything. They will believe big eyes, green dill girl, but not truth. The big green dill. New orange jumpsuit soon. Hey guys, what's up?
I'll
I
be
have some
back.
questions. Nice
Thank
to meet
you,
you,
guys.
Alan. Alan, come back here. Orange man, bad. Delusion syndrome, sheep. Thumper Rose, yes. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for being here. Karen Burnett,
Hello.
Tony Polk, Margaret Dell. Hey Mike, do you have any female contributors?
God bless all of you.
I'm not sure what that means, Margaret, but maybe. I don't know. What is that? Mike, do you have any female contributors? If you would like to contribute, I would. I don't know.
Nice to meet you, Thumper.
Maybe somebody that comes on the show, you mean female contributors. Working on that. Happy Ellen is with us. Yeah, I mean, I have girls around that would probably maybe come on. I mean, who knows? Just gotta
You gotta
see what they can talk about.
gotta fill them out.
Jordan say they're awesome. Thank you guys. Co-host. Alan is in Indiana. This is a great family. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yep.
Ben
Amen.
Fuller, a clown. Jack Rooney. This Thumper Rose. Simon Ellis. Fluid Bar Art by Greg. Get Amy on the show. Yes, Amy's been on the show. We can have her on again as well. I'd love to have Amy back on. Alan, you've been a blessing. All right, any closing thoughts that you want to talk to the people? Any words of advice, words of encouragement? If you look up on the top screen there, Alan.
I can just elaborate on how grateful I am to get to see this go down. You know, it's almost like history in the making to be part of this, and I'm blessed to get to meet Mike. I almost told him last night I've been praying over a mentor to come into my life, a good Christian mentor, and he fits the agenda perfectly. And I told him that last night, and I don't know how he felt about it, but a lot of my people at church have been talking to me about it and praying for me, so I appreciate them. I want to give a shout out to them. Thank you, Mike, and just my family. Again, thank all of you guys, the supporters for this channel, and Mike himself. He's a truth seeker, and I hope that you guys continue to seek the truth. And I will be back. Thank you, guys.
All right, there it was, Alan. Folks, yes, we hope you continue on our journey with us, seeking the truth, wherever that may lead you. And we do. We pray a lot. I know sometimes we do it on the show. Before we get into, we don't only have to do it before we get into something dark, but we do that because that is just to give us that protection and for you guys to remember to put on your armor of God. And Alan has got a challenge coin, by the way. You want to show that real quick, Alan? Put it up in your camera.
What's that?
Your challenge coin. Do you have it?
Oh, yeah, I got it right here.
Yeah, see, he's holding it. You just show it there. Boom. He's holding one now. He's going to be keeping it near and dear. So, again, and that just reminded me, other than the hat, I got to pick somebody. So I'm going to go through the emails and get a name. And the same with the challenge coin. Somebody's got the challenge coin coming. Probably send one with the hat person as well. So they're going to get a double little bang. All right. Again, I'm Mike. This is a Patriot Hour. God bless. Godspeed to each and every one of you worldwide. And we'll see you back here on the next Patriot Hour update. This will be put over to the Patriot Hour. Thanks for joining in on the live feed. And we'll see you guys back here real soon on the next one. Have a great morning into your afternoon.